let's go ahead and look at an example here of finding lateral areas and surface areas of a prism. Okay, so this one says find the lateral area and the surface area of the right rectangular prism and round to the nearest tenth if it's necessary. Okay, so this would basically mean if this is a right rectangular prism, it basically means that this lateral edge and this base edge are going to form a right angle here. So that's important to kind of understand. All right, but let's sort of cut this into two different sections here. Okay, so let's maybe say, let's call this is going to be our space for our lateral area. Okay, and this will be our space for our surface area. Okay. Okay, now this formula for the lateral area, okay, it said that we can basically look at the perimeter of the base. So I'm just going to say that L is going to be equal to the perimeter of the base, okay, which is just going to be represented by this distance all the way around this rectangular base, okay, multiplied by our height of our prism, which is just going to be represented by 14 feet here. Okay, and so I'm just going to plug in these numbers that we know. So actually at this point, instead of saying L, I'm actually just going to find what our perimeter is, right? So our perimeter of our base is going to be, well, if this is a rectangular base, it's going to be, those are going to be the same distance, and these are going to be the same distance here. So it's going to be 2 times 9 plus 2 times 7, right? So our perimeter in this case is just going to be 18 plus 14, okay? And now we can say that our perimeter is going to be equal to 32. So I'll say this is going to be equal to 32 feet. Now again, that's not the answer to our question, but it helps us actually get there. Because now I can plug this information for P back into our formula here. And so now our lateral area is going to be equal to our perimeter, which is 32, multiplied by our height, which is 14, right? And now we can say that our lateral area is going to be equal to, again, my calculator, 32 times 14 is going to give us 448. So I'll say my lateral area is going to be equal to 448. Now remember, this is area, so it is measured in square units. Right? So our lateral area is 448 square feet. Okay? Now, we can just take our lateral area here and just add these two, like the top and the bottom base sections here, to this, right? So it said in the last example, or in the last part, it said we basically have two formulas for surface area, and one is just basically taking the lateral area and then adding up the area of the bases. But let's just kind of work this out. Let's just say the surface area is going to be equal to the perimeter, okay, multiplied by the height, plus 2 multiplied by capital B, which represents the area of the base. Okay, so again, our perimeter calculation is really the exact same thing, but I'll work it out again. Okay, so our perimeter is going to be equal to 2 times 9 plus 2 times 7, and we find that our perimeter is going to be equal to 32 feet. Okay, so again, that's not our answer, but it helps us get there. Okay, we know that our height from the picture, our height equals 14 feet, so maybe I'll put a squiggle under that. That's going to help us get there. The area of our base, well, the base is a rectangle, right? So the area of our base is going to be equal to, you know, it's going to be equal to basically the length times the width, okay, or 9 times 7. Okay, that's basically just going to give us that our base is going to be equal to 63, or the area of our base is going to be equal to 63 square feet. Okay, and so this is also going to help us solve our problem. Okay, so at this point, I'm just going to plug in all of our known information to figure out our surface area. Okay, so our surface area is going to be equal to the perimeter, which is 32, multiplied by our height, which is 14. Okay, plus 2 multiplied by the area of our base, which is going to be 63 square feet. And so now I can just sort of put this into my calculator and we will have our final answer. Right, so this will be 32 times 14, which equals 448, plus 2 times 63, which is going to give us 574. So our surface area of our entire prism here is going to be 574 square feet. Okay. In the next video, we'll take a look at another example here, and we'll just get better at finding lateral area and surface area.